morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is a beautiful, bright, sun shining. Nope, dark as fuck. Oh my god. already
Hi,
violated the
YouTube.
rules.
Good to see
Sorry
y'all
about
this
that.
Monday.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It is Monday morning, February 6th, 2023. It's the best Monday morning that's ever existed. We got so much amazing news. I am Reverend JJW, and that is Deacon. And this, as always, is our
The Church
Monday through
awoke.
Friday. Yeah. We're gonna get to the Church Awoke. This is our show where we talk about the news and politics and pop culture and have yucks, and maybe I can convince Deacon to do a Schwarzenegger impression. I don't know. Schwarzenegger, maybe. But every morning we meet here because sometimes you need to hear two dads talk, and Deacon and I, we are your two dads. I don't know what my wife is signaling over there. She's just like this. I think maybe my...
I thought you were pointing to our two dads logo.
I don't know. Oh yeah, and yeah, we are your two dads. No, I think maybe one of my kids is waking up or something. I don't know. I already put her back in bed once. Good morning, Jordan. Good morning, Brian. I see people over on Rumble and on the YouTube.
I just got my Rumble alert that we are.
Oh, yes, it's a great app, and everybody should be subscribed. And is it because I own stock in Rumble? No, that's not why you should do it. But I will disclose that I own a little bit of Rumble stock. So, no, Rumble's good. They don't tell you what you can and can't listen to. They appreciate the free speech. So, I think my wife is telling me that my kid was bonking her head. She does that. Did your kids ever bonk their head against the wall to go to sleep?
Gosh, yes, that's a kid thing.
Yeah. And she's 4 now. She's supposed to cut it out sooner or later, but our doctor said, hey, that's self-correcting. They're not going to hit themselves hard enough in the head to hurt themselves. So she finds it soothing or whatever, and whenever she wants to go to sleep, she's pounds the hell out of my house.
Different people find different things soothing. Kendra and I just had this conversation just like 2 days ago over the weekend. She was sitting there on the couch, and Kendra's a kind of a nervous person like I am. And she was sitting there on the couch, and she was just shaking her leg, just.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, oh. And it hit me that she was kind of like me. And I told her, I was like, I don't remember how we got into it, but I was like, your mom, Ashley, used to say that to me. She would say, are you okay? Because I'd be sitting there and my foot would be like this. Can you see my...
Yeah.
And I just sit there and do this. or sit and just shake my leg. Up and down, up and down, up and down.
Is it an absent-minded thing?
Kinda. It's like how autistic people will stim. They'll do certain things. It's kind of a soothing little. That's what it is to me. It's soothing. And she said, she said it perfectly. She said, yeah, it started off as being anxious, but now it's soothing to me. And I said, oh my God, that's the perfect line. I've never thought about it that way, but that's perfect. Me shaking my leg like that started off as me being really anxious about situations and stuff, but now it's turned into a soothing. So when I sit there and shake my leg like that a bunch, if you look at me, you're like, oh my God, what the crap's up with Andy, man? He's freaking out right now. No, I'm soothing. That's a very calming motion for me, that very repetitive motion. And it was for her too. I thought that was very interesting. I do another thing like that I've caught myself in the past couple of years. That is something that is a family trait. Like, I think this is DNA memory. Okay. So my grandfather has been passed away for 31 years. All right. I lost him when I was 13 or 14. So 31, 32 years, my grandfather's been passed away. I was 13 or 14 years old. I have very few memories of my grandfather. He hardly spoke. He was a veteran of the war. Hardly spoke, was on a lot of medication, but he did move his jaw like this all the time. He'd be sitting there in the swing and he'd be doing this.
Yeah.
Like those old people do, like they're chewing on something.
Yeah.
He'd just do that all the time. And I remember that's a very distinct memory of my grandfather.
Or did he have some teeth that he had taken out?
I don't know. That was just a very
I bet
distinct
he
memory of,
did.
wait a minute, I think I figured out what he's
Oh,
doing.
okay. Oh,
Because you know how they say certain things skip a generation. So if
yeah.
you've got like all the things you love, your grandparents, one of your grandparents probably loved them too. Not your mom and dad, but
Really?
your grandparents. Yeah. My grandfather, like my father, has no musical ability whatsoever. Me and my brother are very musical. My grandfather played like 5 instruments. But my dad don't play anything. So it skipped a
Right.
generation. And Deacon, my son Deacon, give a crap about music. His son will
Yeah.
probably love music. So anyway, my grandfather would chew like that.
Okay.
Well, about 5 years ago, I caught myself doing something, and I saw my reflection of myself doing it. I chew on the edge of my tongue as kind of like a soothing thing, and this is what it looks like when I chew. It's an absent-minded,
Okay.
I don't
Hold on.
even
Wait.
think about I'm doing it, I just do it. This is what I
Do it.
look like when I'm doing it. I'm chewing on the edge of my tongue, and it's just an absent-minded little.
Yeah.
And so
I
it hit me
wonder.
one day when I saw it. It hit me. I was like, "Oh my god, my grandfather was chewing on the edge of his tongue as a
Yeah.
nervous, and I do it
Interesting.
too."
Yeah.
It was so interesting. I told my
That
brother
is
about it. I was like, "Do
interesting.
you remember Paul doing this?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "I think I know what he was doing. I think he was chewing on his tongue." And I think
Well,
that's DNA, man. That's family DNA.
way back then, I mean, this is probably 40,
He was,
he would have been 40
yeah.
when you were born. So, or earlier. So
Oh no.
probably
When when
people,
when I was born, my grandfather was
yeah,
probably 60 or
right.
70.
Okay.
He
So
was old.
then, at least 45 years ago when you were born, though,
Oh
dental
yeah, yeah.
health and stuff like that, it wasn't, we didn't have as much
Mm,
insurance, and
yeah.
especially people that are of a poor
Mhm,
means,
mhm.
my family included.
Man,
You
it
know,
was
you
dirt
don't go get
poor farmer.
dentures. You get your teeth
No.
pulled if there's a mad tooth.
You pull a tooth
So,
out and you don't worry about it anymore.
so
You just don't chew on that
now,
side anymore.
yeah, and so now imagine trying to soothingly chew on your tongue, except you ain't got any teeth. Well, you might do it a little more vigorously because you're gumming your own tongue against. You know what I mean? So I bet you that's probably
I've got plenty of teeth over here, and you can see,
what you do.
I
But
hate
your
my
grandpa
smile.
probably had fewer. Yeah,
Well, here's another thing that I have found out about my family. I almost said my last name. I don't say my last name. I
yeah.
found out
Don't say
about
your last name.
my family history. You see this hole in my mouth? I
Yeah,
got
yeah, 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 yeah.
another couple over here. That is because I did not have all of my permanent teeth grow in. I had
Right.
6 baby teeth in my mouth up until about 4 years ago when I had to start pulling them out. Baby teeth.
Oh,
I
really?
never had, yeah, baby teeth. It's been in my
Oh,
mouth
wow.
forever. That should have fallen
Wow.
out 40 years ago. That were
Yeah,
still
yeah.
in
No,
my
we've talked
mouth.
about that before. I didn't know you still had them. I
I
thought they
still
just
have. I've
permanent
still
ones didn't
got
come in.
one. I've still got one, a baby tooth in my mouth.
Wow.
Well, my father had baby teeth too. So I'm guessing my grandfather
Probably.
probably had baby teeth because
Probably.
I've watched my children's teeth, and
Right.
I've told the
Yeah.
moms, watch the teeth because I have
All right.
extra, I didn't have extra teeth.
We okay. So yeah, I'm gonna pivot for just a
Interesting. Yeah,
second,
yeah.
dear audience. Deacon and I had a strategy meeting last week, and we said, "Hey, you know what we ought to do? We probably ought to talk about the most important story, or at least the title story, within 5 minutes of starting the show." And we didn't do that,
That's
but
all
we're
right.
gonna do it now. We're
It
gonna
was
do it now.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah, I
interesting
know. I see.
conversation.
I
So
think this
let's
is good
move to
stuff.
it
Okay.
now.
All right. So the title of today's show is "The State Department Tithes to the Church of Woke." I'm not going to pull the title up. You guys can read, right? Everybody can read. Raise your hands if you can't read.
Oh no, you're
No,
lazy. Pull the
no.
title up. Jeez, you should
No,
have.
I'd have to find it. I
Oh,
gotta
don't
go
worry about
find
it,
it.
man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So here's the story. Dude, I saw this morning, and there's honestly we have a bunch of news to cover today, just a whole bunch of stuff. But I saw this, and I just kind of got a little bit incensed. State Department offers free speech grants, but only to woke activists. Okay, the United States State Department is pretending to offer grants for proponents of free speech while disqualifying anyone who disagrees with the woke agenda.
Oh.
If your speech promotes biological males playing in women's sports, abortion on demand, and sexual indoctrination of 6-year-olds, the State Department is offering you up to $750,000 in grants to help you stamp out free speech of anyone who disagrees with you. If you want government funding for your free speech initiative, or which should include women and girls in all their diversity, or LGBTQI plus 2A spirit, I think it is, persons, transgender. You don't know about the two-spirit?
What the fuck is that?
Okay, transgender.
Is that something new?
No,
Two-spirit? Is that like
yeah,
a ghost?
you
Are
just
you
add on
paranormal?
stuff. No, two-spirit. I think that's the the transgender part that has Native American too,
What?
and it has something.
Don't fucking start insulting my heritage with this bullshit.
This is their religion. It's not my problem.
Damn. What a bunch of
Gender diverse persons, migrants, members of marginalized racial, ethnic, and indigenous communities, religious
The longer
minority
you
group
talk,
members, and
the
other.
more ridiculous this is getting. I just want you to.
Yep, it sure is. So, Deacon, I don't know if you know this or not, but the Constitution, I like to talk about the Connie sometimes. It does say in Amendment 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. And yet here we are in the with the State Department giving money, literally giving money for free grants to people that only hold one political, ideological, and religious perspective. So, ladies and gentlemen, your tax money is going to the Church of Woke. In its notice of funding opportunity, ensuring freedom of expression for vulnerable and marginalized populations responding to anti-rights efforts and targeted attacks, the State Department notes that grants will only be given to those programs that have, quote, strong support from and participation from or by lesbian and bisexual women, transgender and intersex individuals, and other gender diverse persons. It states that it will include a strong gender analysis that looks at the unique needs of women and girls, including lesbian and bisexual women, as well as transgender, intersex, and other gender diverse and gender nonconforming persons, women of color, women with disabilities.
God.
And hey, okay, so hold on. Deke, audience. There's only one way that I'm going to get some of this money.
I can only hear so much, JJ.
All right.
It's turned into, you might as well just be going, I'm not understanding any of it.
All right. This is what you need to know. The only way that Deacon and I are going to get any of that money from the State Department is if you guys self-identify as gender something lesbians.
Hey, look, let me just say this right here, okay? I have been called many names in my life, many different names. If you want to call me a woman, if you want to call whatever you want to, I look in the mirror and call myself these names. So if you want to give me some money and all I have to do is say, I'm a pretty, pretty princess, let me just make this clear. If we're going to write checks and that's all I have to do, I'm a pretty, pretty princess. Where's my check?
Yeah, gets us money.
So you can call me a woman all you want. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
I thought the
state give me money. Yeah, I want money.
I thought the mission of the State Department was to like interact with other countries and crap like that. I didn't realize it had anything to do with indoctrinating our own culture and giving free money to crazy people, to people that are crazy. They're crazy.
Who's been the head of the State Department over the past 40 years? Yeah, all the different, and then ask yourself that question again.
Right.
Look at all the people. Jeez. I read this doesn't have anything to go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. No, because I'm going to segue. Go ahead. Do you think?
You were talking about the State Department. I read a funny thing about international relations over the weekend. I was reading an article and some comments and stuff on international relations. And I read this comment and I had to save this comment because I was like, JJ would appreciate this. It's so great. I actually thought our audience would have appreciated this comment. I'm talking about international relations. It says, in international relations, you just say things. You know it's not true, You know the other country knows it's not true. It doesn't matter. The game is to play dumb because a large number of morons in your own population will believe you, and it's important to keep appearances for them. For other examples, see Russia, who says dumb things on purpose regularly for international propaganda purposes. And I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. That is exactly right what you do in international relations. You say dumb shit that I will say a lie that I know that JJ knows I'm lying, but
I was going to say,
I'm
this
doing it to
statement reads like a description of our show.
I know. I do it to maintain an image and to posture. And JJ will know, and I know he knows it's a lie, so he will do the same thing to me.
Yeah.
So we're both going. I just thought I read that about
it's all fake.
I thought it was hilarious.
That's hilarious. I love it. Sorry about the cough. All right. So the Church of Woke is not the only religious story in our docket today. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to take this very, very seriously. Church of Woke, serious church.
Okay.
Serious church. Okay.
Yeah.
But we also have, hold on. Here, share this tab instead. This came out today. Is this today? Yesterday. This came out yesterday. Appropriate. Come out on a Sunday. The Satanic Temple is now offering free online religious abortion ritual in New Mexico. So if you are a Satanist and you hate life and want to kill babies and stuff like that, you can exercise your religious right to murder unborn children in New Mexico. So the Satanic Temple in New Mexico is offering what it calls a free online religious abortion ritual that will mail abortifacients, whatever this fake word is, to women in the state after completing a telehealth video appointment. The online clinic, which is named Samuel Alito's Mom's Satanic Abortion Clinic, after a conservative. I mean, you got to admit, they're funny. They're funny.
The Satanists are humorous. I will say that,
yeah.
and they're very.
I know where credit's due.
I'll give credit where credit's due. The Satanists are humorous and they are intelligent. I will not discredit their intelligence by any means. They are very smart. They go by the book, by the letter, and they do everything that they are supposed to do. They are the assholes that come to court and they have the notebooks and they have documented everything. They are. You're not going to pull one.
It's like they don't have anything else to do. I mean,
they don't have
definitely
anything else to do.
Their energy for this.
But to fuck over the Christians, and they will take detailed notes in order to do that. So you have to.
So in order to qualify, women have to complete an online screening and review information on the temple's abortion ritual, and then undergo a telehealth video appointment before receiving the abortifacient. Yeah. The group said its goal is not to convince women to have an abortion, but rather to assist in affirming their decision and to ward off the effects of unjust persecution, which can cause one to stray from the paths of scientific reasoning and free will that Satanists strive to embody. So Satanists are bad, and they like to kill babies, and they want to do it by mail. So, okay. So that's our religious notes today, but they were filed under political. I want to say to Manuel, who says here, "Sub JJ, did you look at what I sent you on Twitter?" I will say this. First of all, Manuel, I was thinking about you last week. I haven't heard from you in a while. We missed you on the show.
Manuel.
We missed you, Manuel. We haven't heard from you. Glad that you sent me that thing. I am now. I'm not going to speak for Deacon, but I'm personally afraid to talk about anything January 6th on the show. I'm terrified.
Have you ever watched the show, Manuel, and seen me on the show? Probably not a good idea to let me talk about that.
The video feed may actually catch on fire, and Satan himself may cancel his subscription to our show.
Satan may unsubscribe to our show.
Yeah, we don't want to lose a subby like that.
No, we actually did look at that and whatnot, and JJ and I talked about that this weekend. And
I feel like there's.
We're trying to make a sound decision on the line. Does that make sense?
I don't want the State Department to come out and start funding ads against. You know what? I wouldn't mind if the State Department funded ads against us. That would be pretty great. You know what I'm saying? Abortifacient. Abortifacient. I've been corrected, Deke.
Have
It's
abortifacient.
abortifacient.
Well,
Abortifacient. You can abort a head hunt. You can abort the whole body.
I invented a new word yesterday too.
Yeah.
Carnivorous. Carnivorous.
With an F in there.
Yeah, and an F and then a silent PH right after the F. Carnivorous.
Okay.
Yeah, I can invent words.
Carnivorous. Carnivorous. Wait, do you put a T? You should put a TH at the end of it.
If you want to. That's a cool.
Carnivorous. Carnivorous. It's a carnivorous creature.
All right. We're losing people. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Here, we're going to stay on politics, but we're not going to stay on here long because you guys know how this story ends every single time. Whoops, I messed up. Over on Breitbart, over 800,000 border crossers have been freed into the United States without court dates since Biden took office. And by without court dates, you know the procedure, Deacon, is that they're supposed to be arrested or detained, and then they're supposed to say, hold on, let me pull this up here so you can see. What's your name? Okay, got your name. And why are you in America? Okay. All right, here is your court date. Please show up at this court date within, and make your case for asylum. So instead of doing that, the United States government is saying, okay, you're detained and you're free to go. Okay, you're free to go. So more than 800,000 border crossers and illegal aliens have been released into the U.S. without a notice to appear in immigration court by the Department of Homeland Security since Joe Biden took office. Are you at all surprised or shocked? No, of course not. Oh, this is what we've been talking about for a long time.
Damn it. I was trying to find a clip from this movie. And I was trying to make a funny joke, and I can't find the damn clip now. I like it. Oh, here it is.
Is it the Rob Schneider one?
No. Hang on. This is this goes along with what we're talking about.
Well, what we got here? Looks like a bean in a bean bag. See this got there everything?
Huh?
Where's your green card?
I don't got a green card, man.
Where were you born?
What?
Read my lips, Il Figo. Where were you born?
I was born in East L.A., man.
You were born in East L.A., huh? And who's the president of the United States?
The cowboy guy on TV. The guy was on Death Valley days. I was John Wayne.
Oh. John Wayne. John Wayne's the president.
I love that movie. I watched that movie a million times when I was a kid. Born in East LA.
I imagine that you did.
I
imagine that you've seen all of those movies.
No, that's not a Cheech and Chong movie. That's a Cheech.
That's not a Cheech. Oh,
no,
really?
that's after. That wasn't a Chong movie, or he wasn't in that.
Can I just say
that's a movie about him?
Mad respect to Martin to Cheech's mustache.
No, that movie's about him. He was born in East LA, and then he gets deported to Mexico because he doesn't know who the president is. He doesn't have his ID on him that day, so he's trying to get back to East LA, and he encounters some. It's a feel good movie. It makes you feel good. That's a good one. Born in East LA. Cheech was a good actor when he wasn't playing hey man, I'm stoned all the time. But
I just assumed. You know what? I just actorly profiled Deacon. I did an actorly profile. I can't believe it.
Seriously, if you ever come across that movie somewhere on the free stuff and it says "Born in East LA" and you see it, it is worth watching.
I think I've seen the title card before, but I hadn't seen it.
Early '80s movie. It's good.
All right. That's politics this morning. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the last one. Last one. It's related to the migrants though. So we spent some amount of time, especially in November and December, talking about the strategy of Texas and Georgia and Florida we're getting too many migrants in, put them on buses and send them to Chicago and New York to see if we can cause enough political pressure to get the policies changed in the country. So a little bit of migrants have been shipped to New York and other major cities in the United States. And to which the Democrats in New York and Chicago made a bunch of rigmarole and talked about Texas being racist or whatever. So, keep that in mind. Hold that thought in your mind as I read this headline. Here we go. Migrants abandon New York City for Canada with taxpayer-funded bus tickets.
That's funny.
I apologize for the cough.
Right.
Disgruntled migrants are fed up with Big Apple's crime and grime and are taken up for the Great White North on bus rides paid for by New York taxpayers, the Post has learned. National Guard soldiers have been helping distribute tickets by the Port Authority bus terminal in Manhattan to migrants who want to head upstate before crossing into Canada. Several migrants said.
So you're telling me the Democratic, liberal, loving, giving people of New York, AOC's people,
yes,
her
yes,
people don't want the fuckers there either?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, they are paying for the tickets, but the migrants themselves have been saying this place is too awful.
This place is
crime-ridden. It's too violent.
We would rather go back to Mexico than live in this shithole.
or Venezuela, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, any of those countries. They're better than New York. Can we just please go to Canada? Yeah. So I think you guys get the point.
I wanted to see two things in New York when we were there. In my freaking
me too.
36 hours that I was there, I wanted to see two things, and I didn't get to see either one of them. Instead, we saw some stupid staircase shit that I had to walk up.
You know what? That's true. That was physically difficult to go up and down the egg. But, that was fun to do that with Bagel. Bagel wanted to do that, so we did that. I wanted to see the Ghostbusters Museum library.
I wanted to see that, and I wanted to see the public library. Oh, you just said that. Never mind. Those are the two things that I want to say.
If we had it to do over again, and we are not doing it over again, we should have talked about it in advance and then stage a photo so that we could take a photo from the movie, but you and me be in it.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, no, don't blame you, immigrants. I mean,
yeah,
Canada.
Nobody wants to go to New York. Why were you guys?
Canada is nice this time of year.
Canada. All right. Let's talk about this. This is super important and relevant to our pop culture. So check it out, guys. Look at this. Pop culture. We did so much work on the show this weekend. Probably like 15 minutes.
That's nice, dude. Do you have anything for the pop culture? Are we just gonna?
Yeah. You guys remember we talked last week about Netflix getting excoriated online. In fact, I think the title of our show last week was Love is a / hate, just kidding, hate you. That was our Netflix episode. Netflix says strict new password sharing rules were posted in error. Oops, we shouldn't have posted that. That is not a walk back, and that is not a change of their price table. That's just a CYA a little bit. New Netflix rules that it would have enforced limitation on users sharing passwords are reportedly a mistake and don't apply in the U.S. for now.
Americans, we're just kidding. I mean, we're going to do this in like 2 or 3 of those little shitty countries, not yours. Come on. Oh, no, this is not for you guys. We like you guys.
I see.
Screw these brown people that live in these little islands.
So it's a conspiracy. Netflix is applying pressure to get people to leave Central America by not allowing them to share passwords. So they're going to get them to go to the United States, so Netflix is pushing people into the United States.
I think this is exactly how you put it. This is a CYA, a cover your ass. This got leaked probably, and they didn't mean for it to come out this early, or maybe this is a strategy. This can completely be considered a strategy, JJ, because let's just leak this information a little early, because y'all don't have any plans of doing this for 6 months, right? Right. All right, let's leak it now and see what the reaction is, so that we have plenty of time to jump back and go, oh, this was some crazy man.
Or how about
we fired that employee that leaked that?
Here's an announcement. Exhaust your rage. Oh, now it's old news, and now we
Oh,
turn
yeah,
it
and
on.
now we're gonna do it again, but you've already
Yeah.
gotten that. And if you think about it, you're exactly right. That's what they've done for years because that's a strategy. And they
Of
do
course
that
it is.
with a lot of things. That was the strategy that they brought out for that Dungeons and Dragons stuff that you were just bringing up before we went on the air. That was the exact
Yeah.
same thing that they pointed out. They were like, you do realize that what Hasbro's doing is they want this. These are signs of the stages of grief, and they're wanting you to get through the stages of grief, okay? Because you get through that initial rage, and then you will, oh, we're sorry, and then they can come back and
Right.
slowly reintroduce everything that they wanted in the first damn place, and you're not going to have that initial rage reaction. So this is a
Right.
strategy to
Oh
hack
yeah.
your brain.
Well, that's how you mitigate backlash a little bit. You just like, whoa, we didn't mean exactly.
Yeah.
Wait till that rage burns down, and then nobody cares. I'm like, I thought they already told us they were going to do that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is brain hacking.
All right. Let's see. Do you want to zig or zag? How much time do you have before you have to be on the air?
48 seconds.
Okay, then I'm gonna cover this for a moment, and then by the time we get back, we can try to do something fun. Here we go. Let's check out our Baldwin bullets for today. As you know,
I can do some sound effects. Do we have some?
now Deacon talked me out of doing little video headers of things. So we thought this was a better idea. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect mouth gun sounds. That's great. As you know, Alec Baldwin was last week charged with involuntary manslaughter. But I found out a couple things in this story that I didn't exactly know before. The director of which I think I said Helena Hutchins was director last week. That's incorrect. She was a cinematographer. The director is Joel Souza. The director was injured when the bullet came out of the gun for some reason from Alex Baldwin's hand, and killed Helena Hutchins, and it also injured director Souza. So, the director of the ill-fated Rust, which shot on the who was shot in the shoulder on the movie set, may testify against Alec Baldwin at his involuntary manslaughter trial in New York. So, now, here's what I didn't know. I did not know that Alec Baldwin has been charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter in the alternative. In the alternative means that the jury gets to decide which of the charges they will actually charge him with. So the lesser charge is involuntary manslaughter, and the greater charge is involuntary manslaughter during the commission of an unlawful act. So if convicted of the lesser charge, Alec Baldwin could spend up to 18 months in jail. But if the jury decides that he committed involuntary manslaughter during the commission of an unlawful act, then he could spend up to 5 years in prison. 5 years in prison. Let's see if people are flipping through on YouTube or whatever right now. We'll just put this on here so that they see Alec Baldwin, and then they hang in our video for just a second. So I didn't know that, and I also didn't know that Joel Souza has, I believe, sued Alec Baldwin for emotional damage from being struck in the shoulder with a bullet. So now I know that Helena Hutchins' husband has come to terms with the Alec Baldwin and the production team and is now an executive producer in the movie and will get a little bit of a cut of the money if it ever makes money. But so that's the 2 things I didn't know that I know now. Joel Souza may testify, and the jury will get to decide which of the 2 charges to charge to convict Alec Baldwin. So
it's almost as if with these celebrities, I'm sorry, I'm having a when I fell the other day, I think I cracked some ribs up here in my chest, and I could feel it over the weekend. So it's really starting to hurt me today, and I just got into a coughing fit there a second ago. And
yeah, I saw you say that the other day, and I should have said something about it. I didn't respond. I saw that message.
No, it's all right. When Alec what was I getting at? Oh yeah, with celebrities, we are only presented a certain image of them, right? It's
Well,
like with
yes.
influencers and everything. You're only getting it's kind of like what we've said about Facebook too, how it's so damaging because you are only getting the absolute brightest points of people's day. You're
Well,
not getting
right.
the arguments and the bad spots that everybody has. You're looking at this and thinking everybody's life is tiptoeing through the tulips, and it's not. And it's the same way with celebrities. So we see these celebrities and we see all this stuff, and we don't necessarily hear all the bad stuff all the time. It's almost as if Alec Baldwin is a son of a bitch, and they know he's a son of a bitch. But this portrayal that we get to the public is what he's being, what we're being sold. He's got a company that portrays him. That's their job, okay, is to make him look good. So that's what we're being sold. But these people are actual people that know him and have worked with him. So why would you think if me and you were working on a set and you accidentally discharged a gun, it was a terrible accident, it killed, I'm just making hypothetical, huge hypothetical. Some terrible thing happened and I got injured. I know you're not an asshole, so I'm not going to sue you. But if you're being a cock to me, if you're being a cocksucker all the fucking time and you're walking around, and before this you were a cocksucker and now you're even more of a cocksucker because you've done, I'm suing you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying.
Yeah. I see that point. And now there can be situations where you may be forced into legal action, right? Like there could be situations where like, if you don't sue out of this, that, or whatever, then that's effectively saying that you accept it and you're agreeing with it or whatever. So there may be some cases where you have to actively defend your trademark or copyright or something like that.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, aside from that, but I mean, I can see the emotional angle of like, yeah, was Alec Baldwin maybe a giant D-head on the set and maybe he irritated people and stuff? I don't know. But, I don't imagine, I do not have, way before this, I already didn't have a positive opinion of Alec Baldwin. Obviously, he took every opportunity to like, hate on Trump for like 5 years or something.
Yeah. Well, he's a crazy liberal.
Yeah,
that's why
right.
I never liked him.
But I mean, like that's like so.
Alec Baldwin was his character Jack Donaghy on
30
Rock, and Jack Donaghy they were trying to make fun of conservatives.
Right. Yeah.
They went overboard a little bit on him, but I loved that character. He was great.
I mean, he's obviously a political ideologue and has an extreme opinion and is willing to go out for that all the way. And now, is that at all related to the fact that he was treated so gently with kid gloves by the media? I mean, like he got excoriated by many of us that have ever held a gun and been like, you don't point that at people, dumbass. But and then he went on a PR crusade to try to explain himself right after the incident. That didn't look good. So anyway, Alec Baldwin. That's our Alec Baldwin stuff today. That guy's a killer. Like literally, he killed somebody. All right, Deke. Let me. Is it in your professional repartee? Is it within your toolbox or tool belt? Whatever vocal tool belt is.
To do Arnold Schwarzenegger
accent? Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger, absolutely.
Here's the question though. All right.
And how do you get there? Because I want to get there.
Do you want to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger caricature voice, or do you want to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger real voice? Because there is a difference.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I didn't know this.
This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger character voice.
Yeah, this is what I'm hearing in my ears.
Yes, come with me.
I need you to leave.
That is the Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger really talks like this right here. He's Austrian, so his Austrian accent. And if you listen to Arnold talk, he talks like it is not like this. It is in the movies. like everybody
I
does.
like that. I like the slightly more cartoonish version.
It's a caricature. It's just like when you go and you get your picture drawn from the people and you got a huge forehead and they make you have a huge forehead in the picture. It's a caricature. You're accenting one of his identifiers is, that identifies him, his muscles and his voice identify Arnold Schwarzenegger. So when you draw him, you make his muscles huge and you make his voice sound like this. You know exactly who I'm talking about if I put on this accent.
Yes.
Don't
like
you?
of
I don't
all the
have to say
people, there's like 8 billion people on Earth. But if you make that sound with your mouth, it's like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
If I say hello JJW, like, why are you doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation? Not an Austrian impersonation.
Jeremy is telling me that my Arnold Schwarzenegger voice sounds exactly like somebody else.
Oh,
dude, it's uncanny.
He might be talking about me.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's talking about me.
Your Arnold Schwarzenegger voice this morning when you were doing it beforehand, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that's not Arnold.
Please don't do that.
JJ.
This is not, why do you think this is a show, JJ? Well, I don't know. It just seems like it's entertaining to me. All right, here's the story.
We were watching some Arnold. Oh, I remember we were watching Kindergarten Cop. It's on one of those. It's on one of those free Roku or Pluto or something, and Alex had never seen it, so I turned it on, and we were talking about Arnold. In his voice, Arnold talks like this in the movie, and when he talks like this is what I told Ashley. This is his normal voice.
It almost sounds a little bit like
that hurts
a little
my
bit too
chest doing that.
Yeah. Don't. All right.
It's hurt my chest. Deep breaths, and I'm not thinking about it.
Whew. All right, here we go. We're going to do the story. Now, I deeply regret that this story does not have a direct quote because that would have been just awesome. I can't help that. Over on, what is this? Page6.com. So this is like New York Post, page 6. Here we go. Arnold Schwarzenegger allegedly hits bicycle. I can't do it. I allegedly hits bicyclists with car.
Get out of my way.
It whiffed. The hardest thing to say is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Say Arnold Schwarzenegger in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. It's the hardest thing to say.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's hard.
My name is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was reportedly involved in a car accident Sunday morning that resulted in a bicyclist being rushed to the emergency room. The former governor, 75, allegedly hit a woman who was riding a bike and swerved into his lane in West Los Angeles, sources told TMZ.
Man, that sucks.
Be careful.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, dude, Arnold is really a sweet freaking soul, man. He really is. He's taking care of this woman.
Yeah. In fact,
he's not a prick.
To back that up, over here on Yahoo News, Arnold Schwarzenegger involved in traffic collision reportedly handled the aftermath like true gentleman.
He's a treasure, dude. I'm serious. I follow, and I don't follow in social media, but I watch a lot of his social media stuff that he does. He's an animal lover too, and I'm a big animal lover. Oh, dude, Arnold took care of that shit. He did.
Of course he did.
He's a stand-up guy.
The only question is that when the wreck happened, she was swerved into him, right? And hit his car, and it probably fell down. He stopped, and he was not going fast. And he probably stopped the SUV. I'm guessing this is a little hypothetical.
You know why he probably wasn't going fast? Because he saw her riding, and he probably slowed down because he's that type of freaking guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The witnesses saw the woman on her bike suddenly swerve in front of the actor's SUV in an attempt to make a left turn. She swerved in front of him to take a left. Oops. Now the only question that remains is that when this happened, is she fell to the ground and got a little scuffed up and whatever. He stopped the car. He got out. Did he say, "Come with me if you want to live"? Did he say that? I don't know. The downvote button is right down here, guys. If you're watching right now, you can like, subscribe, or there's also a downvote button. Now, YouTube doesn't let people see the downvotes, but you can still downvote. It's allowed.
I have to say,
it's so hard to get. I
did not see that one coming. I did not.
Really?
You blindsided me on that one. I did not. I should have seen that one coming from a mile away, and I didn't. You got me. That was a good one. I can usually see your setups as you're going because you like to set it up and then you like to set up the setup and set up the setup before you make the
wait
joke.
too long,
I can
run it
usually
out
catch it before you do it, but that was a good one, dude.
All right, we got a couple other pop culture things here. Deacon, this is important to you. I believe this is important to you. Have you ever wanted to live the experience of a Jedi? Like sleep in a Jedi bed or pay too much money for a Jedi dinner?
Maybe when I was a child and didn't understand what that entailed, but now that I am a geek and a Star Wars nerd,
Right.
being a Jedi would suck.
Now, here's the thing, though. When you were a geek and a child and a younger, probably right now, I don't have extra $5,000. I didn't have $5,000 extra dollars to spend to be a Jedi when I was ever as a child.
I don't have an extra 50 cents to spend as a Jedi.
Yeah, my Jedi costume would be like a blanket and a broom handle.
Maybe I'll think about it.
All right. Well,
how far do I have to drive?
For those of you who are not quite in our financial situation, Disney is chopping prices at their $5,000 a night Star Wars hotel that guests have called terrible. Have you seen this? Have you seen this videos on this? What do they call it? Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. This is not the video. I don't think. I don't know what this video is. It's a shopping cart. We'll just move up here. Check it out. You can go to the Galactic Star Cruiser and you check in the hotel and you like put on a costume and you get to stay in this very small bed.
Yeah.
And get to have this Star Wars experience. And it's kind of like it's a hotel that's like an experience thing where like there's stories and you run into actors constantly and they're in character, and you know, you're walking around with like a robe on and some Nikes pretending to be a Star Wars person. So, he's responding to chat.
Oh, Jeremy he wasn't talking about you. He was talking about mine. I agree.
It's terrible.
I don't do impersonations very well. I've always been really infatuated with the folks like Frank Caliendo and those guys that can do those just perfect impersonations.
Can be having a conversation and drop into a different character and then change character. And
I can go into characters. I can do characters, but I can't do impersonations.
Well, see, I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger as a character.
He's an impersonation. Like the one that I used to drive my ex-wife crazy with that I practiced all the time was Christopher Walken, because I couldn't get his cadence down. And he's so hard to get his cadence down that every time he would come on TV or on what, I will repeat like everything that he would say, and right after he would say it, and I couldn't.
You're talking to my guy all wrong. You do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a screwdriver.
Stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
Iron.
I could not ever get Christopher Walken down. It just sounds terrible.
It's difficult. He's
Yeah,
another one of those that has such a unique voice. All right, listen. There's another trying to distract me from this Star Wars hotel.
Yeah, I am. I don't like the Star Wars hotel. I'm not a big Star Wars fan anymore. I was a big Star Wars kid as a kid. I'm not so much anymore. Well, I mean, I carried around the Star Wars encyclopedia that I read in middle school and high school. I would carry it around, you know, because I was the geek. I carried that shit around. I'm like, oh, yes. What would you like to talk about?
Don't tell me that you're going to jump on that cliche of like what corporate bought your brand and try to commercialize it and turn it into a bunch of trash and like, you know, like you're don't tell me you're in that band camp.
No, I just
Disney Star Wars.
I've gotten older and I don't want the same story told over and 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 over.
Oh yeah, we've had that conversation too. See, I love the Luke Skywalker story, but I can see I think my brother actually hates it. I think it's great.
I'm with Jeremy on that one. Luke,
like,
I know Luke's story. I know his dad's story. I know his sister and her sister's husband's story. I know all their stories.
Anakin Skywalker's story is dumb. He was an angry little boy that was abducted by the Jedi.
Anakin
So,
Skywalker's story needs some fixing still, but
yeah,
I don't
it
want
was
you to fix it. Just leave it alone. It's flawed.
Anakin.
Alone.
Anakin was kidnapped and taken to a religious cult, and then murdered a bunch of children.
That's a thing in the Star Wars mythos, though. A lot of the people in the galaxy don't look at the Jedi as good people. They look at the Jedi as baby stealers. They go around and they steal babies. And I mean, that is in the Star Wars mythos that the Jedi are not always looked at as good people.
I mean,
No.
I think they're not good people. I think they are bad people. But if you totally want to, you can spend a bunch of money to go to this galactic cruiser and watch fake Rey fight this guy. Is this supposed to be is this supposed to be what was it, Rey and what's the other guy's name in this Star Wars movie? The new one?
Ben Solo. I can't
Ben
remember.
Solo?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Why is his face
And
white?
let me show you something. Let me say something else about Kylo Ren. Those little Knights of Ren. Do you remember those guys? His buddies? And
yeah.
I
think of some of the comics.
They were badass. I didn't read the comics. I'm sure they were badass. I would totally want some more of that. But they were in like 2 scenes in that.
Oh, you mean in that movie they had the night? Yeah, they did. They did look cool. Yeah, so I've seen, if you look on YouTube, you can see videos of people kind of like documenting this hotel. And this is funny. So they have at that hotel, you can spend like a tremendous amount of money to get a lightsaber that actually is like just a lightsaber. And then you push a button and this thin roll of metal unwinds like it's like a tape measure. Exactly. And it unwinds and it actually goes up and it's made and it's coated in some sort of a material and it actually looks like a lightsaber that glows or whatever.
Oh,
but
cool.
it's like a tape measure. So it's like you whack something with it, you're going to immediately break it so it's literally just for that one and then off or whatever.
Alex has got a pretty expensive one that we got him that is plexiglass and when you it'll turn white and go
Yeah. My dad gave me one of those. Like,
I mean,
he made one. It's cool. And like, you can really whack them. So there's the kind that so apparently there's this kind that are like a tape measure that you can actually ignite. And then there's these other kind that you can actually do like fights like this, like they're doing over here. Whack, whack, whack. And in this, when they go do this story, Rey like confronts Ben Solo or whatever at one end of the walkway and he's at the other end, and then she like lights up her lightsaber and like the whole audience is watching, and then in a totally like this makes sense manner, she like drops down to her knees and puts the lightsaber down out of view and then picks up the other one that she can wax them with. It's so funny. So yeah, okay, Star Wars Hotel. Let's see. Yep. People are unsubscribing as we talk. They don't care about Star Wars.
I don't care if they unsubscribe. I'm not talking for them. I'm talking to you today.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I'm not talking to people. I'm talking to you. And if they can sit in and listen to our conversation, all right? And we're talking about Star Wars.
All right, Deke, this is going to be I think this will be the last. Yeah, this is the last story. We're almost out of time, but this was yours. So I'm going to change over to nerds because I don't really think it's pop culture because it was like a quarter century ago. Quarter century ago.
Well, what story is it? Let me talk about it, man.
All right, here we go. You see it on the preview over there?
No.
This is mine. It's right here. Look, just like look right down there. See that?
I've got one more story after this, actually, there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is not a quarter century ago. This just happened the other day. Thank you very much.
But you know, like the other movie came out like
it doesn't matter. They're having this big resurgence and he's putting it out again or whatnot. And that's why it's back relevant again. This is the only reason he's done this is why it's relevant again. Let me pull up the story so that I can actually read it. Where did I put it at? Here it is. All right. So James Cameron is tired of everybody coming up to him and saying, Jack could have fit on the boat or on the door. Jack could have fit on the door and could have survived. So ahead of the film's February 10th theatrical re-release,
Yeah, we're almost done. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
The 68-year-old filmmaker puts the speculation to rest in the upcoming National Geographic special Titanic 25 years later with James Cameron. In this special coming up, because they're re-releasing it, they try 3 different ways of getting Jack and Rose on the door. One way, they both get on the door, but the door goes down, sinks down enough in the water that their vital organs were still covered in the water, both. In the second one, right there, next, the team fits both actors on the raft in a position that lifts their upper bodies and vital organs out of the water, increasing their chances for survival. The final test, the actors perform all the physical, strenuous actions Jack and Rose went through prior to finding the floating door, including the scene where another passenger tries to use Rose as a flotation device, only to be met with a heavy blow from Jack's fist.
GMA first look.
Oh my God, this thing's talking to me. They also add an extra moment that didn't happen in the film, as Rose in the experiment gives Jack a life jacket for added protection. So they tried it that way as well. And I don't know if they even, in this article, if it even says that he could have survived or whatnot, because they want to get you to watch the National Geographic special.
Right. But they do totally give it away right here when James Cameron is talking. So you can just watch this little video clip. Yeah. Yeah. If you watch, this is like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I turned it. I muted it.
Oh, yeah. It's cool.
Yeah. So they totally give it away. They totally give it away. So, but since you don't know, what do you think?
James Cameron is tired of everybody saying that.
Yeah. I mean, is he? Or is he ginning up more James Cameron PR so that people will watch Avatar 2, whatever the thing is?
Hey, I've got one more story here. Yeah.
All right, one more.
This one's just for you. I saw this
for
weekend.
Me?
I was like, what? Okay, so it is. This is just for JJ and maybe Jeremy. All right. What's up, Do Good and Jordan and everybody else in the chat is going to appreciate this story. Okay.
Anakin needs to be a girl because equality. Okay. I buy that argument.
All right. JJ, when you go to the movie theaters, I'm going to wait and let him get done, because I think his wife's wanting him to. When you go to the movie theaters with your family and y'all are going to get, and JJ lives in Texas. Let me point this out to anybody that doesn't know. JJ lives in Texas. When you go to the movie theaters and you're going to get some snacks for everyone, what do you get? What is common? Soda.
Sure.
Okay. Popcorn.
I mean, historically, sure. Yeah. Popcorn. We usually get popcorn, maybe bottled water. Sometimes we do. If we get a soda, it'll be like a Diet Dr. Pepper or something like that.
Anything else that you get that normally that you eat at the movie theater?
I am not eating candy. I am not eating sweets and stuff, but I used to get Sour Patch or Twizzlers or something like that. I like that tart stuff. I like that.
Well, there's a very unique Texan thing that you guys do that you do in the movie theaters in Texas.
Okay, you cannot wear shorts. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're good. Let him do this, because my setup's taking a long ass time. But this is so weird. I thought this was so weird.
Go.
There's a thing that y'all do in Texas that you think is normal, that I guess you think everywhere else does this.
I'm waiting for the
nowhere else does this.
Really?
You only do this in Texas. Okay?
Hot dogs? No, everybody does hot dogs. Pickles. Oh yeah, we got pickles. Pickles at the theater. Nobody has pickles? You guys don't like pickles? Pickles are great.
No. That's
Why not?
The weirdest shit that I've ever heard.
Pickles are delicious. Life. Have you ever had a pickle at a theater? She says yes.
Y'all are crazy. There's no pickles at theaters. You can't get pickles at theaters.
Oh, now what?
Go anywhere to the movie theater outside of Texas and report back to me, because every single movie theater that I have ever been in my life, I have never been to Texas. I have never been able to buy a pickle ever.
Really?
This is what this article is. It's talking about people that are from Texas that move to other places and find it weird that they can't order
pickles at
in the movie theater. And they're like, Y'all, I just got a pickle at a movie theater. They asked if I wanted the juice drain. Texas
Apparently,
is cool. See?
apparently, nobody else in the country has pickles in the movie theater.
Look, I
They
just
can't
found
afford
out
pickles.
that one can go to a movie theater in Texas and buy a pickle at the concession stand. One single pickle in a bag. They put it with the candy. This is the weirdest thing
Yeah.
I've ever heard about Texas.
And they got some pickles that are like spicy pickles. You ever had a spicy pickle? They got spicy pickles too. Those are pretty
Y'all
good.
are strange, man.
Pickles are good. And they
just
go
come
great with
across that.
barbecue.
I
Barbecue pickles go.
I love dill pickles. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
hate bread and butter pickles. I love dill pickles. I love sweet pickles. All right.
Uh-huh.
And let me tell you,
like
I
kosher pickles.
put sweet pickle juice on my pizza.
What? Nobody
Try
does it?
sweet pickle juice on your pizza. That's
I do. We do like pineapple and
Sweet
pineapple and
pickle juice.
mushroom.
Try sweet pickle juice
Sweet pickle juice.
on your pizza.
Deacon, you shouldn't be having sweet pickles. Come on, man. You know.
I can have a little bit of sweets.
Okay, all right. So Do Good says literally nobody does this. Okay, well.
Do Good is
Hey,
correct.
you know what? We all learned something. We all learned something on this.
Do Good lives in Germany. So even the German people think you're weird.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not putting sauerkraut. I'm not buying sauerkraut.
You're weird from all over the world.
I will say a lot of my family is German, and I love bratwurst. It is so good.
Could go for some sauerkraut right now. God almighty.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, guys, this has been the most Monday awesome episode of today that we've ever done today, and we hope that you will still be watching to the end of the episode. Something like and subscribe. Anything else, Deacon?
No. I can't.
Awkward.
My chest is hurting so bad.
His chest is dying. He's dying for your entertainment. This is like the Roman Coliseum, everybody. All right, that's all we got. We'll be back tomorrow. I gotta go dress my kids because I don't have anything to follow that statement up with. Bye.
Hit the button.